everyone, Adam here. So as you can see, I have a new temporary setup. Essentially, I'm down in the basement hiding away from my kids trying to record this video. And I also have a new haircut, and this is all because of COVID-19. So I wanted to give a quick update to my channel and just kind of explain where things are headed and what I have time for and what I don't have time for. So before this whole stuck at home thing became a new normal, things were already kind of very busy. And again, this is not a complaint because I do really feel that people can ultimately choose how busy that they want to be and where they want to allocate their resources and time. So this is definitely not a complaint video, just more of an observation and kind of where I stand with things, okay? So anyway, before all of this, I felt that I was busy, and it was by design and by choice. Before I had kids, I realized that I was very, very inefficient, okay? Especially on a weekend, okay? So before I had kids, this is a while back, this is basically what a typical weekend would look like, right? Maybe I'd wake up 8 a.m., right? That might be optimistic. It might even be 9 or 10 a.m. Didn't really matter. I could play video games for like 4 hours straight. I could also work out for a good hour. Maybe I would throw in some flag football for a couple of hours. I still had time to cook up a healthy meal. And maybe I'd mess around with Linux or some kind of computer a hobby that interested me for another 2 hours. And if you add up all those hours, it was only like 8 or 9 hours a day, and I still had plenty of time left over to do other things that I enjoyed. Basically, I had the entire day to do anything I wanted, whenever I wanted, that I enjoyed, okay? Now, once kids were born, I had to be a lot more efficient. And I really had to prioritize what I wanted. My wife and I, we did a pretty good job in the beginning of basically giving each other breaks, tag teaming, like, when we only had one kid, it was like, I need a break, I'm gonna go to the coffee shop, great, I'll watch our kid for us, and okay, great. Now, once 2 kids were born, I had to become even more efficient and really prioritize what I wanted to do, okay? Now, I have a house, which requires maintenance and responsibilities. So, when you couple 2 kids in a house and your work life, you no longer have the luxury of wasting time, so to speak, or doing 10 hours a day of what you want to do, because there's also other priorities that just happen to get into the way, okay? Again, not a complaint, just something that happens. Pre the whole stuck at home thing, I had the opportunity every other Monday to record these videos in peace and quiet without kids around, and that's what I chose to do with my free time. Now you fast forward to the current situation. Everyone is pretty much stuck at home. Now, I'm considered an essential worker. Now, I've been working from home the last 3 years, so that really hasn't changed for me. But my wife is also considered an essential worker, and so she has been going in, okay? So here's basically now what a typical day looks like because of COVID-19, basically the whole stuck at home thing. And by the way, both kids are stuck at home with me because schools are closed, right? So I have a 3-year-old and I have a 7-year-old, all right? So basically, we wake up, or the kids and I wake up at 6 a.m. By this point, my wife has already left for work. And the wake up can vary. Sometimes it can be 6 a.m., sometimes 7:30 a.m., and it varies because of the 3-year-old. He's just going through kind of like a sleep regression at the moment. He used to be a really good sleeper, but not so anymore. So it's been kind of fluctuating quite a bit, but for my sleep patterns, I really have to assume 6 a.m. So I have to make sure that I get enough sleep, and I have to assume worst case scenario at 6 a.m., okay? So we get up, I feed the kids, wife's already at work or leaving for work, and then by probably 9 a.m., between 9 and 10 a.m., I have the potential of doing up to 1 hour of school meetings for the 7-year-old, okay, the whole remote learning thing. Some days have more meetings in the morning than others, but On average, I would say it's about an hour worth of school meetings with teachers and such every day. Now, I'm also still doing my job from home. I'm just a lot less efficient because I have kids at home to deal with too. So, maybe it would take me 7 hours or 8 hours to get my work done. It usually takes me 9 or 10 hours because I just have tons and tons of interruptions with kids, okay? So, when my wife gets home around 5 p.m., she takes over parenting duties for about an hour so I can just crank out like uninterrupted work for a good hour, all right? I may go until 7 p.m. depending on how my day is looking, how much work I have. But possibly depending on what things look like, between 6 and 7 p.m., that's when I make dinner. We try to have the kids' dinner kind of already pre-prepared during the week on Sunday, but we do that the best that we can. And then my food I like to cook up fresh most of the time, but if I don't, I do have kind of like a backup that's healthy that I can just kind of like pull from the freezer, or I have a reserve of healthy food that I just pull from the refrigerator. So around 7 p.m., I am on youngest kid duty. I'm watching the 3-year-old duty because our 7-year-old, my wife is usually doing schoolwork with him between 7 and 8. So essentially, we are required to do 2 full-time jobs between my wife and I, watch kids all day, like a daycare or babysitting job, and also a full-time teaching job. That's what is kind of expected of my wife and I at this point in time. So around 8 p.m., the bedtime routine starts, and the 3-year-old, we're trying to sleep train. And again, he used to be great at falling asleep, and now he fights it. So he'll say, cover me between 8:30 and maybe sometimes even 10 p.m. So you're constantly getting interrupted. And we have worked on the sleep training. We've closed the door. We've tried a whole bunch of things, and nothing seems to really be working at the moment. But we're still going through some ideas. Anyway, constantly interrupted till 10 p.m. So I like to be in bed by 10:30, 11 at the absolute latest, because I have to assume my 3-year-old's going to be up at 6 a.m. So that leaves me half an hour, maybe an hour, to do something that I want to do, okay? Which also includes these videos, right? So, and again, I don't go through all of this to complain, and I hope it doesn't sound like I'm complaining. I'm just going through this, just explaining, and everyone I'm sure is in the same boat. Just explaining that I really have to be focused and figure out what priorities I want in life, especially now during this time. Unfortunately, these videos have kind of gone on the back burner. So, and I don't see this resolving until, at the very least, until September. I know my school, my oldest kid's school has been closed until September. So, and what I mean by that is we also had him signed up for the summer extended day program through our school, and that has been canceled. So I will be with my son until September. Not sure about the youngest yet, but I'm anticipating a very similar fate for him. So, basically with these videos, I was trying to release one every 2 weeks. Realistically, that is not going to happen until maybe September, October, and that's if things go back to normal, okay? I do want to continue doing these. I do have some tips and strategies of trying to keep this thing alive, but just know that it's very low on my priority list because of everything else going on, which I apologize for. So yeah, I just want to give a quick update. I did have 3 or 4, before all of this stuck in place thing happened, I did have 3 or 4 videos pre-recorded. I do need to edit them, and I find it hard to even get the time to actually edit these things because it does take time. Anyway, so you may see a mixture of me with hair, without hair, just because I did have a couple of pre-recorded stuff. So my goal and intention is to try to slowly and surely work on these. Maybe I'll do some more videos like in this kind of setting down in the basement whenever I get time. Try to quickly edit these things down. But we'll see. All this stuff takes time. And again, as I said, lower on the priority list. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick update. Everything is going well, healthy at the moment, and yeah, it's been interesting. And I sure, as I said, everyone has their own crazy schedule, so to speak, I guess, with dealing with this. A lot of people are unfortunately out of work. I'm not in that boat, but things are extremely busy. So it's yeah, it's interesting. So again, not complaining, just kind of going through my day and just explaining, that I am actually fairly busy. So anyway, hopefully this video was helpful as far as an update on my standpoints, and I hope to get some videos released when I can. Thanks for watching.